This channel is sponsored by Loot Crate, the monthly subscription box that's always filled with surprises for gamers and geeks alike. If you're interested, go to lootcrate.com/hawk525, and after choosing your crate, type in promo code HAWK525 for a 10% discount. The link and promo code will be in the description box below. Thanks guys, and hope you enjoy the show. Alright, welcome to our movie review. We're finally back for another one for this time around, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. We haven't, obviously reviewed the first one. Didn't really plan, I guess, when it first came out. For some reason, it kind of just like flew over our heads for both of us. I actually kind of forgotten about the first one with Chris Pratt for a little bit until Fallen Kingdom came up. Like, oh shit. And actually I didn't really plan to see this, but I was given the opportunity from Machinima for a private screening for Fallen Kingdom, which is obviously the sequel to the Jurassic World trilogy, or the second film of the trilogy. And I was able to bring Daniel along for the ride, and for the most part it was a great experience. We got to see it with real D 3D, which definitely added the experience. And overall, I wanted to thank Machinima for giving me and Danny the opportunity to go see it early, so that's why we're here.
It was an awesome experience. My first real 3D showing, and overall it was like a perfect movie to experience the real 3D, and it was awesome with the sound system and the glasses. It was great.
This is your first private screening ever, right? Of
ever,
any kind.
Yeah.
And you had a pretty good time.
Yes, right? Yes. So thank you so much for the invite. You're thinking. I'll thank to Machinima for inviting Sean, and Sean, of course, thank you for inviting me over.
Oh yeah, of course.
Really appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely. Hopefully we can have more opportunities like this. But anyways, we got to see Fallen Kingdom in full, in their private theater and at the headquarters of Real D. So, I want to go first for this time around, and I thought it was enjoyable. It was definitely overall an enjoyable film, and the Real D 3D definitely added that experience. It didn't really take it away.
Agreed.
From the movie here. First off, I guess, yeah, I'll talk about the good things. It definitely had the thrills, a good amount of thrill. The scenes with the dinosaurs were obviously good. I think the overall just structure in the film was, it did its part. I think it was pretty good for the most part. The music was there, obviously. There were some of that, John Williams score in there, so you definitely get the nostalgic goosebumps that everyone has for Jurassic as a series, as a franchise. And this is coming from me who hasn't dived into the Jurassic films in a very long time. I watched the very first one, Jurassic Park, Lost World. Have not watched the third one of that trilogy, and I heard very mixed things about it. Otherwise, it's not
very mixed. It's like a 5 or a 6 out of 10 in my opinion. I've seen it once, maybe twice, and it's pretty much forgettable.
Mediocre, pretty much.
Very mediocre, yeah.
Yeah, so I didn't see that one, and then very recently I watched the first of the Jurassic World trilogy, just online or whatever with Google Play, and I definitely enjoyed that one. Definitely brought back a lot more of that nostalgia feel, just because it's at a park, and all that fun stuff. And this time around, obviously, from all the trailers and stuff like that, this is all about the island collapsing, and the trailers kind of revealed quite a bit, in my opinion. Just maybe a little too much. And I haven't seen too much of it from the trailers. I just saw maybe one or two. But from what I saw from those trailers, it definitely gave a good chunk of it. I felt like, and I felt like it gave a little too much, but there is still some stuff to see in this film, and it's definitely still worth watching, in my opinion, because it's such a pretty enjoyable experience. And if you guys plan to see it in 3D, whether it's IMAX or Real D or not, it definitely is still worth it. I might obviously.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. Like like we said, it adds to the experience. It's definitely a good watch, whether you watch it without 3D or with it. So it's definitely a good one. The pacing was a little slow in the beginning, but when it got to the part with the island collapsing and stuff like that, and it pretty much like kind of rolled from there.
Yeah,
I did like how it began, but then it kind of got a little slow.
Like
after.
the opening was very intense.
Yeah,
it was awesome to see. The intro before the opening credits. But after that, it does get slow, and it starts to it has to introduce all the characters, the new characters, the plot, and the reasons why they have to go to the island and all that. It's just a little too slow. But yeah, it does pick up once they get on a plane and go to the
once they get on the island and everything, then it starts rolling, and from there it keeps rolling pretty much, and it kind of feels pretty much non-stop. So
yeah,
I felt like overall I did like the characters that were in this film. Not too much to complain about, but then again, like I felt like the trailer gave a little too much as to a certain character who he is. If you guys know what I'm talking about, they talked about how this guy wanted to save the dinosaurs, but really he wants to sell them. That's what they revealed in the trailer. So that's kind of like one of the downsides to it, unfortunately for me anyway. Like I felt like it could have been such a more better surprise if they actually somehow kept that in secret.
Just like the fucking Superman and Terminator Genesis.
Yeah,
where they revealed too much in a fucking trailer.
Yeah.
A little too much.
A little too much.
Of course, like you said, we talked about before. There's still a lot to see in the movie. So go see a movie. You're still gonna be surprised. But the trailer does give out a little too much, and and in the end, the villain is like already exposed. Like you already know. You already know who he is. I was like, oh, that's the villain right there. Once you see him, it's like, okay, there he is.
Funny enough, like I don't watch the trailers too much for just movie in general. But because I saw this one like once I saw his face, I'm like, wait, isn't that the guy? Like like he's gonna sell the dinosaurs and shit. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah. So that definitely kind of ruined it for me on that part. But yeah, like we said, there's still stuff to see. Yeah. There's still some secrets and stuff like that. They did reveal like the new raptor in this film, the Indoraptor, that obviously they show in the trailers as well. Thought that one was pretty badass overall, and don't want to give away too much obviously, so without spoiling, of course we will have a spoiler section later on. I was able to enjoy it overall, even with the trailer giving away a bit too much. It's still pretty enjoyable, and is not too much to complain about other than the pacing in the beginning, like right after the opening, and that's pretty much it for me. What about you?
Overall, I thought the movie was very well directed. The visuals were outstanding, top-notch visuals, just like the first Jurassic World. Cinematography was on point. Pacing has some issues. Character-wise, Chris Pratt, he's likable, so he was fine. The lady Bryce Dallas Howard, she was fine too. Like overall, characters were fine.
They're fine.
They didn't have too much development in this movie. Overall, but they were there. They did their part. They're pretty much likable. Other than that, the other characters were just very either like forgettable or like sometimes annoying. So I thought with the kid assistant, the hacker,
assistant. The hacker,
it's just like they're like going, you're always scared of everything. Just kinda, like whatever all the things you see from him in the trailer, that's pretty much his character. Him screaming and being all like that. That's
the scaredy cat. He does get some development, but it's not like it's not too much.
It's like one or two things that happen towards the end. But other than that. No, I did somewhat enjoy the girl veterinarian.
Veterinarian. Yeah. She was pretty cool.
She was cool. but they had that one of the other side villains. He was like the head honcho of the military.
Yeah,
that guy. He was very generic.
Yeah,
like he was like, okay, I get your what you want and everything, but it's just it doesn't do much. There's no depth in that character.
Yeah,
and I was pretty disappointed in him and in the main villain that they spoil in the trailer. The guy who wants the money and all that shit.
Yeah,
like, his motive is just like, oh, why? But I mean, yeah, money, but it's like it's not too original,
Not original.
Yeah, and also one of the main complaints I had actually right after I saw the movie coming out of the movie was that to me it felt way too similar to The Lost World.
Right. Yeah.
Like the movie was well made and structured pretty well for the most part.
Right.
But it felt way too similar to Lost World. They go to the island just like to rescue the dinosaurs, just like in The Lost World, and then at the second and third act of the movie, or the last half of the movie in Fallen Kingdom, it all takes place in a house. They go to the mainland, the city. What happens in Jurassic and The Lost World? Dinosaurs go into the city and wreak havoc.
Yeah.
And this one, they go into the city or the house and wreak havoc.
Yeah.
So it's like it's too similar.
Yeah, it's pretty similar in that sense.
Yeah, and even has some scenes like that were recreated from in Fallen Kingdom that were that you've seen in the first Jurassic Park. Like people trying to shut doors and just the raptors opening up doors with the doorknob and certain scenes like that. It's just they just rip it up from the original movies.
Yeah, there are also there's also definitely one scene that I want to definitely talk about, but I'll leave that in spoilers later. Yeah, it's pretty much like I hate to say this, but like it's kind of sort of like it's in the similar case with like episode 7 of Star Wars, and then with like A New Hope or whatever, if you want to make that comparison too, because it does borrow a lot of things, but at least it was still enjoyable. It had like some new things too to establish itself as a Star Wars film.
Yes.
This Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. There's still like funny little quirks. There's some like
there's not a whole lot of comedy, but the little comedy they had, it worked for the most part.
Oh yeah, it worked.
They had some funny moments.
But yeah, it's pretty much like what you said. Like it does repeat a lot of the formulas you would see in Lost World. So
it does like we were talking about now, it does repeat things, but also it's very well executed, very well directed, very well shot.
Yeah.
But it's just pretty much The Lost World in like they just made it like
a little different, just a
little different in modern times now. It's just more made for like the new audience,
the new
generations, people like who are younger than us, who are going to be in our 30s, and Jurassic World was marketed toward. It's pretty much like a reboot. The first Jurassic World was made as a reboot.
Right.
To the Jurassic Park franchise. So people like that age, like young kids, 10, 15, high schoolers, 18, 20 years old, they're probably gonna enjoy this one. But for me, as a fan of the Jurassic Park franchise, the first Jurassic Park is one of my all-time favorite movies.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And I would rewatch that and The Lost World as a kid so many times. So I really enjoyed Jurassic Park franchise. The third one not so much, and I thought the Jurassic World, that one was good, well made, even though it had its problems too. Yeah. And then this one also I think is well made, but in my opinion it has even more problems. More problems than Jurassic World. Yeah.
I can't explain it too much without spoiling it.
Yeah,
so, but yeah, it still has its problems. But I personally felt like I overall enjoyed the first one a little more, just because it repeats some things from Jurassic Park with the first Jurassic World, but there's still like new things that I was able to enjoy, like the fact that there were people there, like a lot more people around.
Yeah, I felt like there wasn't as much carnage here in this movie. Like of course obviously people are gonna die. People do die in this movie, but it felt like it you didn't see it that much, and it wasn't as bloody as I hoped it was gonna be. Not like as in like blood splattering everywhere, like gore and stuff, but you know, just something more, a little bit more brutal than what we've seen before. But you know, it's like they played it safe here. Yeah, they went for like a really safe PG-13 rating here. Yeah, you know, there's one scene that's like pretty intense, like oh shit, but other than that, it's pretty safe. It's pretty like bloodless for the most part, which I was surprised to see.
Yeah, I don't know. I was able to enjoy the first one like a little more, just because like it still does things that are a little quite different. Like I said, like there are more people around, so you got like
more danger,
more danger.
There's more stuff, more death, more destruction.
Yeah, there's more tension to it because like we said, there's more people around, so like we don't know what's gonna happen to them. The Jurassic Park, it didn't have that many people, right? So
no, not at all. But still, like you still, it still felt more brutal.
Yes, yeah, very more graphic.
Graphic,
very much more graphic. Not necessarily like, you know, like oh blood, gore, guts, or whatever, but like it's just very like more in your face in a way, if that makes sense. Jurassic World was able to do that too, like to me anyway. But this is like, it had its moments, but overall, it just didn't lack as much punch to it as previous Jurassic films. Because second film was overall like you know, not right. Like it's like right above mediocre. Like it's still pretty good. Like it's pretty decent. Still worth seeing in theaters. It's a very theater movie, I would say.
Oh yeah. Like if you turn off your brain, this is like a great popcorn movie.
Oh yeah.
Like it's fun. Like it's even though it has its problems, but like, you know, if you turn your brain off and you go with your kids, you know, you're gonna it's pretty good entertainment. Very good entertainment, I should say, because you're gonna be wowed by the visuals and by the way it was shot, directed. You know, you have Chris Pratt there, very likable character for the most part, and you know, you have some humor there here and there. And music, it adds to it. You know, there's like some really tense music. The sound quality is fucking amazing, especially if you go see it at an IMAX, Dolby, real 3D, whatever. I mean, overall for the experience, for like entertainment. It's great.
It's up there, it's a very good theater movie. Yes. It's like a Netflix thing or whatever else. It's like, all right, you know, it's gonna be probably be a little more on the average side, or maybe above average at the most. Personally, for me.
Yeah. Same. I feel the same too.
Yeah. Well, other than that, I think. Yeah, that's all I can say without spoiling it. What about you? Do you want to like add more anything to to the table?
No, I think we pretty much went over everything, so we can give our final ratings now.
So I'll go first. So actually this time around, I'm gonna open up a little bit when it comes to the score, so you can like now do the 0.5s and stuff. Just to experiment with it, just to see, you know, and how that goes. Maybe we'll do more of that in the future. But if I were to give this a rating this time around with the 0.5s and whatever, I would give this a 7.5 out of 10. It's still an enjoyable film, but it does a lot of cookie cutting, and it's just like you said, it's like it borrows a little too much from Lost World this time around. And obviously the villains was obviously it was kind of watered down, unfortunately, because of what happened with the trailer. So it really like numbed the tension of who the villain was and what they are really. Like they didn't really lack, or they didn't really have, you know, that like that, I guess, coolness, or the badassness, or just like the overall like, oh, I fucking hate this guy, or you know, or I love this guy as a villain or whatever. I love to hate him, that kind of thing. You know, obviously, I don't want to say like Thanos, like, you know, is a better villain, but because obviously it's not a Marvel film or anything like that. But he's such a good villain. Like, he was such a great, you know, character. Yes. And unfortunately, they didn't really do that here. They didn't really like expand too much upon the villain.
They didn't at all. They just he's written as like your generic, I want money, I'm going to sell these dinosaurs and get all this money, that kind of villain.
like yeah, they didn't have like too many like flashbacks or anything like that to see what he was like when he was younger.
They could have given him a little bit of backstory.
Yeah.
A little bit more depth.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't. It just shows up. He's there.
Yeah. That's pretty much all we can get. Like, and especially with the other villain who is like the mercenary or whatever.
Yeah.
Who collects dinosaur teeth or whatever. I mean, that's pretty much it when it comes to little gimmicks, I guess.
It's like a hunter, like a ranger.
Yeah, he's just like he wants money too. Like he's like, oh, I want my bonus or whatever.
Yeah.
So like, okay, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
So yeah, but anyways, 7.5 out of 10 for me. 5 being average as always. So yeah. So
okay.
What about you?
I'm gonna have to go with a 7.
A 7, just a plain old 7.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And why give it a 7 this time?
Walking out of the movie right away, I was in my mind. I was like, okay, this is pretty good. It was cool. I had some, I had some problem with it, but overall, like, if I would have given a rating right then, it would be an 8. Walking out of the theater. But once things started to settle down, I started to think about certain things. My rating started to go a little bit lower. Realizing how much similar it is to The Lost World, and how the villains didn't have that much depth into their characters, and their motives were kind of weak. Not that much character development. Overall, but to me, I'm not gonna say I was completely disappointed, but I expect a little bit more, because I really enjoyed Jurassic World. Yeah, the first one. And this one was just like a half a step below that one. Like Jurassic World, that one for me was is an 8.5 out of 10. This I'm gonna give it like a solid 7. Like it's still a good movie, and I would still a good movie. Would I recommend this? Yes, I would recommend it. I would even recommend it to go seeing an IMAX, in those 3D, the special screens, because for the experience, it was phenomenal. Yeah. Because the visuals, as we've talked about before, they were top notch. I really liked the visuals. They were very well directed, were very well shot. But just like the story, plot wise, characters, villains, the motives, it just felt kind of weak. Yeah. So that's pretty much it, I guess, from both of us when it comes to the non-spoiler portion. So we're gonna go into the spoiler portion now. So obviously, you guys want to check out this film, go ahead and shut it off. But if you guys want to stick around, don't really care. You want to hear us talk about the movie, or you guys already seen the movie, assuming you guys definitely stick around. So thank you guys so much for the non-spoiler portion. Now we're gonna go into the spoiler talk for Jurassic Park or Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom.